Taurus, a recent conversation or new development with somebody that you feel is very important in your life has left you in a bit of a mental bind recently, the Eight of Swords. Before we get into the tarot reading for November and look at these cards together, pull more to clarify, I want to just clear up some things that have been happening. So this person in your life, very important person to you, could be like a father figure, a boss figure, could be a fire sign. It doesn't have to be the King of Wands, but somebody that you hold in very high esteem has come forth with a new development. It could have taken place in a conversation, an email, a text, but this has given you like a restricting feeling in your mind, like you're kind of feeling a little trapped in your circumstances as a result, and they have great intentions for you, this person, but whatever they've told you or this new development that's happened, the Eight of Swords is this feeling of a trap that you feel afterwards. You feel slightly powerless. Now I do have the Devil in this reading too, and the Eight of Swords and the Devil are, this is little sis, this is big bro, whatever way you want to put it. They're the same sort of energy, but the Devil is a little bit more extreme and harder to break free from. So I can see that this seed that's been planted in your mind, Taurus, it has the potential to grow and develop and make you feel even more limitless or limited, powerless. So that's what I'm seeing unfold. For the month of November, there is the Hierophant, which is Taurus's ruling card, in reverse, and there is also the Strength card in reverse. If you're dealing with a Leo, you guys are 100% not on the same page, and they're very difficult to deal with, and they probably feel that you're very difficult to deal with if you're dealing with a Leo or perhaps another Taurus in your life. But basically, you want to do something very different in November. You want to try to do something in a different way than you have been before. It seems radical, it seems progressive, you're definitely pushing yourself out of the comfort zone that you find yourself in, and you're taking bigger chances. But this is going against the grain slightly. It might be a little unorthodox, it might be a little bit radical, unexpected and surprising for you, Taurus, but there overall seems to be this feeling like of ineptitude or not having the strength, feeling frail, not feeling motivated to do something that's a little outside of your comfort zone. So there is like this feeling of inaction in the month of November, even though you have something that you really could be moving along. The Eight of Wands is something that you could be moving along at this point quite quickly, and once you get the balls rolling or the ball rolling on it and put it into motion, it really can pick up some speed. So I see your hesitancy to do it. Strength card in reverse is when we feel like we do not have the inner strength to complete our mission, or to do what we had set out to do. So the Hierophant is you, Taurus, acting a little differently this month, breaking the mold, going against the grain, defying odds, defying tradition, and it can really go somewhere. There's a lot of momentum behind this, possibly, once you muster up the strength to do it, okay? So we'll clear up these cards. As the month progresses and we go into December, from late November, I should say, you are a little bit worried about your finances or where you belong in this new role of yours, that now that you've put yourself out of your comfort zone, you're kind of like, okay, but when am I going to find my feet? When is this all going to steady out again? I've had to invest some money. I'm kind of nervous if that's going to come through for me now. I'm just like nervous about this project overall, or this new phase in your life, because you are feeling a bit more limited in terms of your resources. That could be financial or just support from other people, or help or assistance you need to further this project, like staff or a grant or the go-ahead from authorities, let's say. The Devil in reverse. Okay, so this is like possibly the feeling of over dependence on another and how this kind of makes us unhappy. And this could be people taking from you, Taurus, taking your resources, taking from you your energy, and they're so dependent on you that it's making you unhappy, or vice versa. You could be dependent so much on another person that it's become quite unhealthy and codependent, and as a result it results in unhappiness here, I see, with the Devil in reverse. But there is a choice to make by the end of November going into to December, a decision has to be reached on whether or not you have mustered up the strength to do this or not. It's about courage and conviction, and this is a card of being bold and assertive in your undertakings. And when you make a decision, you just go with it. You don't second guess yourself anymore. You go for this, Taurus. Okay, I'm looking forward to clearing up these cards for you. There is a partial lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus on the 19th of November. That is going to represent a significant turning point, culmination, or even an ending chapter in your life. If it doesn't feel like the full ending of the book, it's an end of the paragraph, full stop. But something is turning, wrapping up, culminating. So this is around the 19th of November. Taurus, if you're interested in finding out where this falls for you in your birth chart, I have a reading on all the astrology of November available on my channel under Scorpio season November astrology. We talk about this partial lunar eclipse on the 19th of November in Taurus and so much more. So go check that out if you're interested in the astrology, and now would be a really great time to subscribe to my channel too. Thank you. Let's look at these cards together. Okay, Taurus, let's just get this steadied and keep going. So, all right. We will do the Princess of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Eight of Swords. Yeah. And what do we have coming through with that? We have the Two of Pentacles, decisions. And we've got the Fool card. The Foolish Man, it's called in this deck, the Hermetic Tarot. Okay, so the conversation that happened, or the new beginning that happened, or the information that you received resulted in some sort of a back and forth or a decision making, and you were hesitant to make this decision in late October. You were hesitant to invest. The pentacles, like coins, are tangible material assets or things that we can really hold. Okay, so this could be money. You were hesitant to making an investment here in late October. Conversation came through with somebody that you really very much value their opinion. They look like they are a very strong person in your life, and they look like they're very dependable and nurturing to you too. I'm sensing father figure, boss figure, somebody of like authority in your life that you respect and look up to and admire. But yeah, this information that came with from them came with it a choice, a decision, and a toss-up for you. Will I do this or will I do that? What will I do? Should I invest? Should I not? Okay, but it looks like the decision, you really kind of are sure of it by the end of the month, and hopefully you break free from the limiting ties that bind us in the Devil card. Coming through with the Eight of Swords, which is the Devil's little sister here, is the Foolish Man, the Fool card. So this is very chance-taking, liberating, very progressive, very radical energy, going and doing something nobody expects is the Fool card, okay? So for some, it looks kind of crazy when you take these actions. It looks even foolish or not thought through, but something is telling you that this is right. Spirit is leading you, and you're not afraid to take a chance on this, okay? I mean, that is scary. I wouldn't want to walk off that cliff into like a crocodile or into these raging waters. But it doesn't seem like you're going to do that. It seems like to other people, it might look like that's what you're going to do. You're going to plunge to your death. You're going to fail. But to you, you're like, no, I've got a hold on this. I can see the dangers that present themselves. I'm very well aware of the risk. That's what you're thinking at this point. So that really encourages you to break free from this mental trap that whatever information came through, while it was like best for you to hear it perhaps, and these people at least have your highest intentions at heart, you kind of still can sense that, yeah, that's true, but I can still do this in a different way, or there's a way I can do this. And I get the sense like somebody offered you a new beginning or the prospect of a new beginning, and you're psyching yourself out a little bit, or at least Taurus, like, yeah, sure, I can do that, but I can't do it the way you tell me I can do it, or the way you're suggesting. I have to do it a little differently. There's a kind of going against the norm coming through in this reading for me. This is the card that's associated with the planet Uranus. Right now, Uranus is in the sign of Taurus, associated with the Hierophant card. So we are seeing as a collective, Taurus is the sign that rules the five senses, and it rules the basics, and money is ruled by Taurus, and security. With this Uranian influence through Taurus, we're seeing disruptions on Taurus values. We're seeing a disruption in what we know, like our currency is being disrupted. We're seeing cryptocurrency rise. We're seeing different, more radical or progressive versions of currency as we know it. And we're also seeing Taurus rules the earth, okay? So we're seeing drastic changes in the earth. We're seeing very strange weather. We're seeing kind of very unexpected changes in weather patterns, right? Taurus also rules food. We're seeing a disruption to the food supply and the food channel. We're seeing farmers in India protesting. These are the basics that Taurus rules, and with Uranus transiting to Taurus, and I believe this is going to be for another few years yet. I think Taurus entered, you know what, I don't have my dates right, but I'll have to look that up. But we are dealing with Taurus, Uranus and Taurus for several more years. And we will see disruptions and changes and unpredictability in the stock markets, on the earth, for the food supply chain, okay? It's all happening in real time. And this influence of Uranus in your home sign Taurus, you are going to begin to shift to a more radical, more progressive version of yourself. Once Uranus makes it to your sign where your sun is at Taurus, I think right now Uranus is at about let's say 14 degrees of Taurus. So if you have sun at 14 degrees of Taurus, you're bound to feel these radical new shifts, okay? So let's have a look at what you could do that seems a little bit risky, okay? All right. So we're going to take these cards as they fell out, the Emperor and the Four of Pentacles. And then I like the way we've got the Four of Pentacles leading straight to the Five of Pentacles in that direction. So the Aries card, and we've got the Leo card. Yes, fire sign energy is coming up in your reading. Maybe you're dealing with a lot of those people in your life at this time. But the Emperor, this again is very much father energy to me, very much authority energy to me. Some of you may very well be rebelling against the authority figures in your life and taking things in a different direction that they would advise you to do, but Spirit is leading you to make these changes, Taurus. The Emperor. Okay, so you want to be your own boss. You don't want to have to deal with higher ups. You don't want to be told what to do. You know that you can do this alone and that you don't need a team to do it with. So there you go. And it's going to be a little bit out of your comfort zone for sure, but I think it's going to be very rewarding. The Emperor is number 4 and the Four of Pentacles comes next. So 2 4s together. What does that tell me? Stability, structure, alignment. Okay, think of 4 legs of the table. What was growing has now become more steady, okay? This plant, speaking of growing, is just, I thought it would slow down its growth now that the summer's over, but it ain't. I'm very happy about that. I'm a Taurus moon actually, so you know I love my plants very much. But the Emperor card, yeah, you want to be your own boss, and to do that you have to act a little bit more radical and you have to go against the norms and defy tradition. Remember, nowadays what everybody is telling you to do and what is being reinforced is often at odds with what is the truth. So I have a saying when I think of like the stock market, this is by no means financial advice, by the way, but for me personally, when I think of the stock market, when I think of cryptocurrency, when I think of assets or precious metals or anything I should be investing in, I always buy the rumor and sell the news, okay? Just remember that, buy the rumor, sell the news. That is how you kind of stay one step ahead in this timeline where everything is a little bit warped. We don't know what's true or not. We can't always trust our sources one way or another, no matter where you get them from. There's always like a bit of a gray area there. But it seems like the Four of Pentacles is very kind of stabilizing for your finances. So before you sink into these worries in the later part of November, check your bank account balance, check your all of those tangible finances you have, investments, your home, your assets. Check on them. If they're still there and if they're still solid, no need to spiral and start to worry about finances, because we only need to worry about the present. Can we put food on our table that day? Yes. Do we have a roof over our head that night? Please God, yes. And once we have these fundamental basics and just center ourselves into a mentality and a mindset of having enough and always having enough, that's how greater abundance can flow into our life, because we meet the frequency of having enough, so we always will have enough. Heck, then we start to feel abundant and we meet the frequency of abundance, so abundance meets us back in our life. Okay, but yeah, so it seems like you're actually doing better than you think you may be financially, and you have enough. It seems like the ball is going to start rolling on something to do with your finances in the month of November, Taurus, so keep an eye out for that. The Five of Pentacles, the Devil, and in reverse, and the Two of Wands. So let's have a look at these cards. Coming through for the Five of Pentacles, the Princess of Wands, another conversation will take place. It won't look the exact same as the conversation that took place in late October coming into November. It'll look slightly different, a bit more enthusiastic, a bit more of flow and momentum happening now. This might have been just like the plans or the initial idea, or like the initial kind of like figuring out of the resources that are needed or the expenses that are going to be needed. When we have the Princess of Wands, I see this more as an outreach and a little bit more networking at this point. So you might be reaching out to somebody that can help you financially at this time, or you know, an investor or something like that. Okay, so let's look at the Devil in reverse and the Two of Wands now. I'm going to pull two cards for this. The Eight of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. Lovely. So we've got a lot of twos in the reading. Two Pentacles, two Wands, two Cups. This is decision making, the one or the other. The duality is presented here. I see you feeling a lot better by the end of November. The Devil card, you have to work hard to break free from the limiting beliefs that have fully ingrained themselves into your unconscious mind at this point. Some of you are even aware on your conscious mind that like you put limits on yourself, you stick in situations that you shouldn't, you stay with people that you shouldn't. These are all ties that bind us, and ultimately we do not feel free and liberated as a result. You might feel like you depend on people for money, and that's what's keep you stuck. But the Eight of Pentacles is saying like there is a route out of this. It will take your focus and determination. It will even like take you being careful enough with your resources, with your emotions, with everything in your life, like being careful and guarded to a certain extent, until you navigate yourself free from the clutches of the Devil in reverse. But that with hard work and sustained effort, that this is very possible. So the Two of Cups is a beautiful card to see as we end this reading. So it does seem to me that this decision that you're going to make, you can team up with somebody if you want. I see that the idea of your originality has to be honored, and your uniqueness in this is what's going to kind of favor you, but that there is somebody that is on the same page as you that you may meet around the end of November coming into December. You may link up with this. It could be the investor, it could be just somebody like-minded, it could be your partner or a sibling or a friend that says, yeah, we'll do this together, I'll help you out with this, I would love to do that. And it's like this energy of saying yes. Two of Wands, Two of Cups. You go for it, you do it, you have conviction, and you're rewarded with lining up and aligning then with somebody who shares the same conviction, the same goals, and supports you, Taurus. Okay, that is your November reading. If you want to see your personalized astrology, like I said, head over to that video, Scorpio season November astrology. That's going to be it today. Please consider subscribing if you like this video and want to see more, Taurus.